Oh, okay. Well, hello everybody. We pick up where we left off with the adventurers having to run back to Lumberholt to stop a rampaging mutation from slaughtering all the people in the village. I'm joined by all the people that was unfortunate enough to get conned into this little adventure. We'll start off with Caleb.
Yes, I am playing Caleb. Wait, I am Caleb, and I am playing uh, Enoch Malloy, uh, native Kasigian, Kesigite, Kasigian, um, and he knew that that lady was a hag. He knew it. He knew it, and she turned out to be. But we are apparently in too deep, getting our strings pulled like a puppet, and kind of having to go take care of a mess that we allegedly created. So we're running back to Lumberholt. As always, he's got the leather bomber jacket with the flaps down and the fur on the inside, and he is a sprinting.
Matt.
Hello, my name is Matt, and I am playing Trollsinger, otherwise known as Skewer, the heavily built ranger who wields a pike and who doesn't really speak very well, is not particularly intelligent, but he really knows how to skewer things, and he speaks plainly when he speaks. He is very down to the matter, whatever, down to earth, and everything that he does is kind of earth based. When he has strange spells or things, everything's from nature, and indeed he can turn his body into sort of a leather, into a wood-like sort of substance. And he is, yes, with everyone else on the way to Lumberholt, and hopefully we'll get some information and find out what we can actually do to stem the tide of whatever this evil is that is cursing people and making people think that they're seeing something that's not really there.
Jim?
Yep, that's me. I'm Jim. I'm playing Mr. Silver, and I was cursed, turns out, and yeah, I'm pretty bitter at having to choose between saving a city and or a village and watching these people that I'm with run off towards the village, when I'd much rather fight this lady, but I don't have a chance against her by myself. So I'm bitterly running off to catch up with y'all.
Mike.
I am Mike, playing Sped Martin, a fighter who is also pretty pissed. He was ready to throw down with the hag, but following orders has been deeply ingrained into Sped, so he's ready to follow along when he's told something else is more important, but it doesn't mean he's not angry about it. So, yeah, so to get going.
All right, Eric.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am Eric, and I am playing the one, the only, the Pied Piper, the kings and queens, the slayer of all evil, the bane to darkness, the hero to the people, and the defender of the weak. Better known as Arcadian Taranthus. I don't know where exactly I'm from. I think it's can't remember. Anyway, the Bard, and currently going to fight a bar
All right. Having to get laid with some hard choices between fighting the hag that was released when the witch removed the curse from Mr. Silver and Arcadium. Y'all are charging back towards Lumberholt when you can hear the animal before you see him, and you can hear the people shouting and some screaming when you crest the hill and you start to make your way down the path. You see this big hole where the door has been broken in, and there on the other side with this giant hulking mass of a monster, amalgamation of look like two humans and this bear. It looks like it has like wax melted together with these two faces on each of its shoulders, and when it roars, it opens its mouth clean down along its neck, hairless in some spots. This black gray monstrosity that has like splits in its arms where you can see its muscles, and it's got embedded into it parts of the actual gate where it busted through. When it turns with red eyes to look at you, it lets out another roar of anger and pain and rage and charges at y'all. So what do y'all do?
How far away is it?
We'll say 120.
So I think Enoch would continue kind of running up towards it and would sort of throw on his brakes probably when they get 80 feet or so away from it, or at least when he does, and he'd kind of look around and kind of point towards it and kind of take a sort of a fighter stance. You can see him kind of cracking his knuckles and stretching real fast, and then he kind of drops down in sort of the hip position.
Oh, all right. Oh, wait, did I turn this back on? Okay. Yeah, a quick question. I don't remember if we did. We didn't roll initiative before we did the fight with the bear? Okay. All right. So everybody gets a round to do what they want. So go ahead. Does your axe have the does it have range? Is it like a hand axe or something?
I have two hand axes.
Then what? Yeah. I think after the second range, I think the max range, it's disadvantage afterwards. So yeah, I guess you could about throw it as far as you want to go. You just have disadvantage on it.
No, the short range is without disadvantage, and then from beyond short to the long range is disadvantage, and you can't throw any further.
Oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna pull out both of my hand axes and get as close as I feel like I can hit them. I'll happily throw at disadvantage, but I'm gonna gear up to chuck it a long distance.
I think the long distance on it, isn't it like 60 feet?
60.
Yeah. Okay. Because I think I remember. Look. Okay.
Did you say it's charging at us?
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go post up with both my hand axes up there with Enoch, ready to throw.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you can choose your order, but y'all have one. We'll give one round of y'all doing what y'all gonna do. Then we'll roll initiative.
All right. So I just want to double check. What terrain are we on currently? No, that might not affect anyone else, but it affects me.
We will say forest.
It's forest?
Forest.
Okay. Cool. And is this, are we sort of in town and this thing is running towards the town, or are we outside of town? My apologies, because I wasn't here for the end of last session.
Oh, it's okay. Y'all are coming up onto it.
Right.
It had busted through the gate and was attacking, and when it turned to throw a body, it seen y'all, it turned to y'all, and is now coming at y'all.
Cool. Excellent. So in that case, I think that you said it's 120 feet away.
Right.
So Skewer would he would reach for some undergrowth, and as he's moving, this undergrowth sort of grows extra quickly, and it will sort of attach to Skewer's feet. And the undergrowth that he's grabbing hold of is extra springy. And what he's effectively doing is casting Longstrider to make it so that he can actually move a little bit further on his turn. So he casts Longstrider, and then he will move 40 feet, because his speed has now increased to 40, towards this creature, and he will point his pike towards it, and he will make as much noise and sort of bang on his chest, and otherwise just try and square off with this creature, albeit it still being quite some distance away from him, trying to draw attention to himself. And that will be Skewer's turn.
All righty. Silver, Arcady.
I approach it and as close as I can, but staying kind of my distance so that way I can provide any support that I possibly can. And I try to pelt it with a crossbow. Well, 6 ain't good enough, did it?
It's moving it's very fast for something that's large enough to break a gate. And when you release your bolt, it's already moved past that spot that you had aimed and coming and still barreling at you, frothing with rage in its eyes. Mr. Silver.
Gotcha. Sorry, I was looking at a bunch of ranges on spells. How far did you say it was from me again?
120.
120. So if I move up, it's just 90. All right. All right. I'm gonna move up to the I'll move up 20 feet to the 100-foot away from it mark. And I'm going to go ahead and cast my wonderful Create Bonfire 60 feet ahead of me. So that means it's 40 feet away from this creature, and it's between it and us.
Alrighty.
The bonfire is.
Okay. So the bear will charge, so he closes the 80 feet. And now let's do initiative.
Does he go through my modifier?
It's wait, 20.
I cast it at 40 feet in front of him. So if he closed 80 feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Dex 14.
There's my dice. Yep. Let me. Nope. He runs through it and he catches fire.
A whole 1d8 fire. So 1 fire. I rolled so well.
Well, you singed him and has made. If he wasn't mad before, he is now. Or if he was mad, you just made him madder.
Good.
Oh,
Suck on that.
okay. He knocked at a 5. Caleb got a. No, Caleb got a 5. 6. Skewer. Got a 9. Mike got a 15. Arcadian, I need your initiative. I didn't get yours. Okay. You got it. 11, 9, 6. All right, Svid, you are up. He has closed the distance 80 feet, so.
All right, Svid's going to step up into what he feels like is the maximum range that he's got with a thrown axe. And he's just going to lean into it and throw an axe as hard as he can at this beast. Aiming for the head here. Oh, and it missed drastically. 5 to hit. And there goes my one-hand axe into the woods. Just maybe thunks into a tree so hard I won't be able to pull it out.
You throw it with all you got, and it goes circle, 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 and then it hits into the bear's shoulder, and it you throw it with enough force that it kind of like bounces off to the side a little bit.
I hit it with the handle side.
Yeah.
Damn it.
But at least it's there. Arcadian?
All right. Well, seeing the bear is still not reached upon us, has not gathered his self upon us. I'm gonna take another shot at him. Doom. I cannot roll higher than a 10 to that. 7.
No.
I think you know what. This is a sign. I just dropped this crossbow.
So you shoot again, and his hide is a little tougher than that. Like the crossbow bolt, like you see these two pieces of the door is embedded into it, and your crossbow bolt hits into one of those pieces of the wood. He does not look impressed with your.
Hey, I'll impress this bear with my crossbow and marksmanship. But yeah, other than that, that's all I can do.
All right. So he comes charging into, comes running at, how is everybody around? I know Enoch went up. I know Sved is kind of close to him. Where is everybody as opposed to like placement wise?
I would say I'm about. Let's see. How far did Enoch go up?
As far as
Yeah, so we were at 120. I moved up because I had enough movement to do it to get to 80 feet away. So my guess is this guy is probably right up, getting close to me. Also, I believe Matt is probably.
I'm at 40.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so I guess I'd be at 30 because I had moved my maximum movement and shoot the bow. So
okay, so the bear will come running at both Enoch and Sved, and about halfway into his movement, he jumps at y'all. The big paws raised out to try to land on y'all. I need for Sved and Enoch to make a strength or a dexterity save, whichever one you want to do. Whichever one is higher for you.
And a 12.
Okay. Well. Okay. Well. 123. You succeed. There's no. Okay, you take 10 bludgeoning and 8 slashing as this big thing lands on top of you, and y'all are both knocked prone. All right, Skewer, you see this big. You see as it's starting to run, it leaps up to land kind of close to Enoch and Sved, and just sheer bulk and mass of it knocks them onto their butts. It is your turn.
Was that me, sir?
Did I say Skewer? Yeah, Skewer.
Cool. Okay. Well, I would. This trying to think. This wind would pick up as Skewer closes the distance between him and the creature, and it would sort of blow through Skewer's hair, and this wreath of leaves would sort of appear over the creature's head. And I'm casting Hunter's Mark on it. And I want to try and attack it, please. It's one too many of those. Yeah. Okay, so my 2 hit is, looking at my bonus, 6 plus, not natural 20 to hit.
All right, do damage.
I deal 9 points of piercing damage and 3 points of magical damage from the Hunter's Mark.
Okay, so you cut at him into the side, and you can see where your weapon hits. You start to split open its skin, and his sickly black blood starts to pour out. And he lets out another roar. And it kind of turns his. You can see one of the eyes actually kind of turns its attention to you.
Perfect. That is my turn.
Mr. Silver.
Oh, okay. I'll make got it. I'm gonna hex it, and I want its I want strength its strength skills at disadvantage. And with my action, I will use Toll the Dead, pull back my hand, boom, and DC 14 Wisdom save. Am I muted?
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh, I said do damage.
Okay. I need that, and I need that. Sweet. 8 points of necrotic damage.
Alrighty.
And go ahead.
No, was that your turn?
That's my bonus and my action. As my move, I will move back 30 feet from this situation.
Alrighty. Oh, okay. Enoch, you got landed on.
I did. So I will use, I believe, half my movement to stand up. Is that correct?
I think you used part of it. I don't think you used half of it. I think you only used part of it.
It's half to stand up.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah. So I'll use half to stand up. And then I am going to take a whack at this guy while I'm standing here next to him. So I'm going to essentially try and throw an elbow.
okay.
And it is an 18 total.
Do damage.
Nice. That is 8 bludgeoning. Then I will use the remaining 25 feet of movement that I have to move away from this thing, back in the direction of Skewer.
Oh, okay. I think it will try and bite you since you're leaving away from it.
So I have spring attack. And when I make a melee attack against a creature, I do not provoke opportunity attacks, whether I hit or not.
Well, he looks like he wants to hurt you,
I get that. That's why I ran away.
but he can't. So, good job. You've made him mad. Or Svid? Oh wait, Enoch, is that hit? I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Yeah, that's all I'm gonna do.
Okay. Svid.
Okay. So Sped gonna also stand up, and he's given up on the idea that he might throw an axe at this thing successfully. So I'm gonna pull out my axe and shield. Am I close enough to go ahead and do an attack, or did it move on from me trying to attack Enoch?
No, it's still there.
Okay. Well, hopefully it's facing away from me because I'm gonna just, with all my force, swing at this sucker. You can. I need to throw this dice away. I got a 5.
Okay. So when you come to swing at it, you can actually see like the other head on its shoulder kind of angle back to see, and you see it kind of hop, like does a little hop skip to the side of it to move out your way of your axe swing. Is that all from you?
Yeah, I'm just standing there, shield ready. Let's do it.
Okay. Arcadian?
So saying that I should never touch a crossbow ever again, he pulls out that longsword, and I am going to attempt. What the hell is this thing called? It's called a blade flourish. When as an action, I can perform an attack, and I get I get one of the following benefits. I don't know if it has to hit or not. It doesn't really state.
I think it's pretty safe to say you get the benefit if it hits, so go ahead.
All right. 19.
Yep. Do damage.
Woohoo. Let's see. Longsword. D then. Come on. Come on. Jesus Christ. 13 points of damage. No, wait. A modifier. Wait. Hold on. It's not 13. Hold on. It's not 13. It's 12. Sorry. I've only got a +3 strength. 12 damage. And I add a whole whopping 3 to my armor class. So until my next turn, my armor is. Where's my armor? Did I put my? Oh, my armor is a 19.
Alrighty.
So, and yeah, that'll be it.
His turn. Seeing as you hit it and have enraged it more, it comes at you. Big maw opened. Sped and Skewer can have attacks of opportunity against him if you want, as he's coming for
Damn right.
Arcadian.
Will a 15 hit it?
Nope.
Nope. I miss.
About a 17.
Just barely.
All right. Found a dice that works. Well, 4 damage.
All right. Well, Skewer tries to skewer it, and it misses. You catch it with a glancing blow on its hindquarters, but it's committed to its chomping of Arcadian. Arcade, you get hit by it lunges and it just closes, snaps its jaw down on you. You take 13 points of piercing damage. As you hear the teeth grinding and pushing into your through the armor and into the skin and into against your bones.
I tell him it's just a flesh wound.
There, and he's gonna finish. He's gonna move. Let's see. Nope, he had to move 40 to get there. Okay. Skewer. He has got a hold of Arcadian pretty good.
Right. So I want to. How far away is he from me now?
I think he'd be about 40. Yeah, 40.
Right. Well, I can move 40, so I will move 40. As a bonus action, I would like, please, to increase my size to large. So how this looks is Skewer moves this distance, and then he plunges the butt of his pike into the ground, and the ground will begin to shake just underneath Skewer's feet, and then the ground will actually rise up. And as the ground is rising up, Skewer's legs begin to take on a wooden hue, and this wooden hue spreads up his legs and up his torso and down his arms, and Skewer just grows in size as this whole thing happens. And then Skewer is going to attack the creature. All right. 18 to hit.
You hit him.
So it's total of 11 piercing and 1 magical damage. In addition, let me just double check what's happening here. My speed has decreased because I'm now wooden. I gain some temporary hit points, and my reach has increased, just in case that's going to matter. But yes, that is my turn.
Alrighty. Mr. Silver.
All right. If I move, how far away am I? Did the bear or whatever this creature monster is, after it charged us, did it run away from our original position towards somebody or run closer to our original position?
When it charged in, it jumped and landed on Enoch and Sved and knocked them over. It ran through your fire, took the damage, did that, and then has moved 40 more feet to get to Arcadian. So I would say,
oh, so it's like
10
feet from me then.
Yeah.
Yuck. Okay. Sweet. I rear back and I am gonna go Is there anything to get cover behind?
Well, y'all are not completely inside the city yet, so you could hide behind some of the wooden door that got busted and still hanging.
Okay. I would be happy to go get behind something. And while I'm hiding behind it, I'm literally just shouting out, God, you're just the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Your mother wouldn't even love you. As a skating tirade. Or excuse me, vicious mockery. So DC 14, wisdom.
Okay. It rolled a 15.
Okay. I'm still staying behind that door.
Okay.
And concentrating on Hex. It still has disadvantage on strength ability rolls.
Okay. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I've moved and I've actioned.
Okay. Enoch?
So I'm going to run up and give this guy the old punchy. That is a 17. 17.
That's good enough.
All right. How far away did it get from me?
It
go ahead.
moved 40.
All right. So I'll move 15 up to it because I said I had ran 25 feet away. I'll move 15 up to it, give it the old punch. I'm going to follow that up and spend a key to flurry of blows this guy and make 2 more attacks. I got a crit and a 19.
That's good.
All right. So the crit is double the damage. Is that correct?
Yep. Double the
Dice
weapon.
damage.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. So the weapon, that's kind of a bummer. I'll do 8 and 8. So 16 more total. And then with my remaining 35 movement, I think I'm going to kind of run around it and then back up. Let's say it takes me, what size is this creature?
Large.
Okay. So it takes me 10 feet of movement to get around to the other side.
Yeah.
And then I will back off 25 feet from it again.
Okay. Sid? Wait, am I? Yeah, I'm on. Sid? You have, everybody has been beating up on this bear, and he's not looking too good, but he doesn't look like he's nowhere. He's not, he doesn't look like he's given up yet. He's bruised and bleeding in a lot of places, but he's still trucking with Arcadian still in his jaws.
All right, I think Svet's gonna aim low here and try and sweep his legs out here with my axe. So I'm just gonna run up on him. I found my good dice. I got 21.
Yep.
For 5 damage.
All righty. Yeah, you cut him into the leg, and you cut open the along the of his left haunch, and he's bleeding more. But you see it kind of weaken for a little bit, but he just the heads one of the heads just kind of look back behind you, glaring at you.
All right, Sved's going to take a few steps back and kind of stretch his neck out and prepare for what's next.
Okay. Arcadian.
So this thing still got me.
Yeah.
So, oh my god! All right, so I'm just going to attempt to slice it with my damn sword because obviously, fucking bear got his maul on me. That is a nat 20. That is with a +5, so 25.
Well, yeah.
So you do what it rolls on the die and double it, right?
Right.
All right, so 17 damage. Yeah, 17. I want to try to get this bear to let me the hell go. I feel like Ned.
All right. But he kind of you could feel him clenching more.
Okay, so obviously it had the opposite effect that I was desiring.
Oh no, he kind of let you go. It's kind of almost like tearing flesh, kind of, but letting you go. Just take this as you go.
The parting gift, I take it up.
Right.
That's all I can do.
All right. The bear. See, having you get you wanting to keep his attention, will continue to come at you.
I just want a hug.
Your armor class isn't a 19 anymore, is it?
Nah.
Okay. Well, he just barely got you. $15 damage as he when he grabs a hold of you. Again, he kind of slings you a little bit and picks you up and kind of slings you and then kind of drops you back down.
Yeah. When he drops me down, he literally drops me down.
Skewer, you see, but he'll grab a hold of Arcadian and lift him up and shake him like a rag doll. And when he lets him go, he crumples him onto the ground.
All right. He looks like really hurt, like unconscious hurt, or just being dropped.
I'm out, like unconsciously.
All right. So Skewer Skewer respects you a lot, and I think his initial reaction to you being treated this way is to just gain vengeance for you. and perhaps we can help you after we've defeated the creature. So Skewer would, yeah, he would try to attack. Totally gonna miss. And just seeing if we've got anything else that's a bonus action here. Skewer would try to pull the attention to himself. He's large, so he's almost as big as the creature is probably. He's probably sitting at about, I don't know, 11 foot or so at the moment, with this this bark-like skin, and yeah, he's just sort of yelling in the face of this thing and trying to make himself the target. But yeah, if you want me to roll intimidation, I can, but I don't have an action for it, so.
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure. Sure. 12 plus 2 is 14.
Well, he rolled a nat 1
Okay.
with a. Yeah, let's see, what is it? Whether it's either a -3 or a -4.
All right.
So
I take it he's paying attention to me now.
yes, he is.
Well, that's gonna go just fine.
Mr. Silver.
So Beard Dude hasn't moved.
Not since he crumpled Arcadian like an accordion.
I'm gonna keep doing my same thing, just shouting curses, smelling that hag that made you. She likes me better. DC 14 wisdom.
Nope, he rolled a 10 this time.
I'll take it. 5 necrotic. And I'm gonna keep doing my hide behind this door thing. Because so far I've not been attacked, so I think it's working.
What does Vicious Mockery look like?
Vicious Mockery doesn't look like anything. It has only verbal components.
Oh, okay.
So as long as it's within 60 feet of me and can hear me, then I don't even have to be able to see it.
Okay, I thought it had like a little, flair to it.
I mean, you could, but no, I'm more of the hide behind something and keep shouting insults.
Oh, okay. If that's all from you, we will move to Enoch.
Yeah. Where did our friend go down?
When you moved around him, he took a few. He took a. He didn't. He maybe took another. He took a 5-foot step and just grabbed onto Arcady and raised him up and just started shaking him like he was like a handkerchief and dropped him. So he's. Yeah. You said you moved 25 feet away from him.
Cool. So he's then 20 feet from me.
Well, if you were 25 away from him and he moved 5, so I would think you would be I think you would be 30.
Okay. Not a problem. Then yeah, from where he's at, he would kind of shake his jacket off and give the old sonic boom as this light from sort of the top of his head and just sort of his inner area essentially works its way, coalescing at his shoulders and then firing out from closed fists. I'm going to fire a sunbolt at this guy.
Okay. You're muted. Can y'all hear me? Okay. I can't hear Caleb.
Caleb, did you unplug your mic or something?
Yeah, I can't hear you, Caleb.
He did such a great sonic boom. He knocked his mic. He has destroyed it. Inspiration to you, Caleb.
Fuzrota.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Let's see. I wonder if I muted myself. Anyway, so I am going to take another 2 blasts here.
Well, just on the other thing, could I know could I hear the rest of it? Because I didn't hear anything you did.
Oh, I'm sorry. I shot out the first blast and I got a 12 to hit.
That missed.
I figured it did. I'm following it up with the next 2, and it was a 17 and a 19 to hit.
They hit.
Okay, cool. I do 5 and 8 radiant damage.
All right. You hit. They hit and they singe into him, and you can see now that there's blood coming out of this creature, his mouth, and the 2 other little heads are starting to bleed really heavily. It looks like it's getting on its last leg. Svit.
I would like to chop its last leg off if I can. Run back up to it.
Well, Pete is not going to like us, but go ahead.
Yeah, well, it's a demon bear, so maybe Demon Peter won't like us. Oh, okay, that's weak sauce. 15.
No, that misses.
Oh, go ahead. And it's am I allowed to action surge after a miss? I don't know how that works exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that.
Okay. Yeah, I heard the 15, and then I heard something else, and then you kind of froze, so I didn't know.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Well, I got a 21 on that again.
Okay.
With 10 damage.
Oh, alrighty. Yeah. When you hit into it, you can see it's starting to drag that back leg, and it is starting to now breathe really heavy, as it seems like the adrenaline doesn't pump as much into his. He's not as much. Doesn't have as much get up and go as he did. Arcadian, I need a death save from you.
Straight D20 roll, right?
Yeah.
That's 11. I don't know the DC, but for holding 11.
I think it's 10. So,
Yeah.
all righty. Now the Rage Bear's turn. And Skewer had roared at it and kept his attention. And he's going to lunge at Skewer. Okay. Right. 18.
Yeah.
$20 damage.
All right. So first bit will come off my temporary, and the rest will go off my maximum. All right. So. All right. No worries.
So he kind of snaps down onto you with that big elongated jaw. And starts to and moves around and lets you and kind of drags you a little bit and then lets you go. So it's your turn.
Excellent. So in mocking style, Skewer will sort of bring his hands up to his mouth, and he'll sort of make a gesture that's like his mouth opening. And as he does, his pike will sort of peel into two spikes that look like a gaping maw, and he will attack with that again, hoping this time to actually hit. No. So given that he's now missed twice, Skewer sort of shakes his head. It's like, oh, I can't seem to hit it. Oh, I don't know what's wrong. Maybe his bite was infected. And that will be his turn.
Mr. Silva.
Got it.
Mr. Silver.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I went into a whole I went into a pirate thing. I'm sorry.
Cool. Cool. I just continue to keep shouting. You must have been born on the highway, because that's where most accidents happen. And DC 14 Wisdom.
He just barely got it. He rolled a 14.
Okay. I'll stay behind this door because it's working.
Enoch.
Since I guess I'm just going to fire off another 3 of these things. We'll go with the first one. It's an 8. Then I have an 18 and an 11.
The 18 hits.
Hooray! That does 7 radiant damage.
How you want to do it?
So he sits there and he does the kind of double fist sonic boom fire, and it kind of goes wildly. And as he pulls back, he throws his left and throws his right, and the left one kind of goes right past one of the last, or the head that seems to be holding it together a little bit better. But the other one kind of aimed, staggered, just hits this thing right in the face.
All right, and like your beam hits into the face and kind of burns it. It kind of Indiana Jones melts it. it kind of falls over, and you can feel it's still trying to get up, and it's still growling, and then it gets about halfway up, and then it falls dead. It falls down, and you just see a lot of blood start coming out of it. It's black ooze.
I think Enoch would probably go and attempt to stabilize our good friend Ark if he is still in the throes of death.
Medicine check.
He would definitely. Let's see. He would be willing to help somebody else if they're better at it than him. He's kind of walking over like, "What do we do? What do we do?" And if everybody else just kind of shrugs at him, I guess he'll roll.
It looks like he'll die.
Hey. It is a 20 total.
Okay. Well, you press. You put you hold bandages or whatever, and you get the bleeding to stop. He seems to be. He's not losing any more blood, but he's still unconscious. And you can a few of the you're saying you can see a few of the people start kind of peeking. It was like a mass hysteria, and then you see the guards had set up had tried to set up a pipe wall against it, and you see a lot of them has been flung around and has been chomped on. The few that are still left are helping the other ones, and some of them see y'all just to beat it. And one of the other ones is like, "Do you need any help? I'm a medic."
Yeah, Enoch kind of turns and he just holds up this substitute bandage in his hand, and he's like, "Yeah, I think he's breathing, but I don't know how long it's going to last." And he kind of ushers to Arcadian.
Okay. He gets down and he starts opening one of the kits he has, and he starts wrapping bandages and shoving it with cloth. He says, do any of you need any help?"
I'm probably still behind a door shouting slurs.
Yeah. Enoch is definitely he is kind of in the anime style, holding his arm or his elbow as it kind of falls, the adrenaline of battle kind of fading a little bit. And he says, if you get a chance, I'd like you to take a look at this. And he's just kind of holding his arm.
Okay. He said, your friend will be over at the at our square. That's where we're gathered, the people that have been injured. If you want to go over there, and we can take care of any of your injuries that you took during the battle.
Yeah, Sped's gonna kind of crack his back a little bit, like, I could use some help with this. That thing fell on me.
Yeah, Enoch's gonna go wherever it was he instructed.
Yeah, y'all come to the like these two guys pick Arcadian up and set him on this little as best a stretcher as a bench can make, and they take him into the town, to the center, the city square, and you can see this big fountain, and around the fountain, you see all the people that have been hurt, that are injured, has been set up around that fountain. And you see like these medics. These people are running from people to try to stop bleeding, or just doing whatever they can. You see there's some of them over to the other side that are just taking the bodies of people that didn't make it and putting sheets, and it's just everybody is just watching. It's like this big giant disbelief of both the attack and y'all taking down this monstrosity. And this elderly man comes up to you, and he says, "Whatever you need, it's on us. We have whatever you desire." You can stay at my inn. It's the Walking Oak. And I'm sorry about your friend. I hope he makes it. And he goes over to it, and he's like sitting next to this lady who had been bit. It looks like she got clawed pretty good. And he's sitting and holding her hand. Well, what are y'all doing?
So Skewer, he would have tried to help with the, but given that this medic sort of appeared, and being that, the end of the combat, didn't go especially well for Skewer. Sort of shakes his head. He says, just wait there. I need to check something. And if there's like a tree or something, he'll like walk up to it, and he will try to hit it with his bike. And when he succeeds, he'll sort of shake his head again, and he goes, "I'm not sure what happened to me, what overcome me, but I'm sorry that it took so long to bring that thing down." And he says to whoever the townsfolk is that are there, he says, "We've seen many big creatures come attacking places like this. Is there anything else nearby that's a danger to use?"
There's occasional werewolves, but we've never had anything like that. That was straight out of nightmares.
Well, that's the sort of thing that I suppose we're getting used to seeing, things straight out of nightmares. And we have an idea where they might be coming from, or we have an idea of who we might be able to see to inquire as to like where they're coming from. And that person would be here.
They kind of, I guess the best they could do is just shake their head. They didn't know. They don't really know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and when like when he shakes his head, it's like it was. We came here for CRS.
Yeah, we remember. We saw y'all. I said I showed y'all. I told y'all the way to go. Did y'all see her?
Like I said, I wasn't here when they spoke to him. It's like, well, I sent the rest of them ahead because I was getting a bit sidetracked. I'm not sure exactly what they did.
Oh, he like just looks at. Well, I have to continue with what I'm doing.
Well, if you need a hand, you just come knocking. Not that there's any trees, but I mean doors. And he shakes his head again and it's like, oh, I swear something's got into me. And he'll walk off muttering.
Well, if you would like something burnt, I can do that. If you need a little bit of motivation, I can do that. And if you need your spirits raised, and then looking over at Arcadian, I can help with that too, as I draw my shawm.
Well, anything that you can do right now would be better than what we have.
I'm pretty good with alcohol.
I already have my the end is already open. Go have as much as you can drink.
Oh, I don't want to drink any, but I'll help you. And I'll go over there and do what they need.
Okay. Well, we will use this time to level up. I don't know if y'all leveled up. During the other stuff. But if you've not leveled up, now's your chance, as you've got 2 days of downtime. And Mr. Silver, since you've been working the bar, at some point the old man comes to you with this big sack, and he sets it on the bar. He says, "We took a collection up for you and your friends." Our Gaius even said that you could have credit at his emporium, but we got 1,600 gold together for y'all.
Oh, that's not necessary. I mean, it's nice. I'm obviously not going to turn it down, but it just wasn't necessary. I'll make sure my friends find out about it.
He's after the fight with the bear. He's like, it's the least we can do. We don't have very much else left. We don't have anything much to give, but we have money and alcohol.
And that, my friend, is enough.
So we will take a 5-minute break because I have to visit the DM's room. So
Cool.
We shall be back in 5 minutes.
Well, I'll be here the whole time. Not going anywhere. entertaining everyone while the rest of the screens get closed, because it's typically what happens. Everybody goes and does their own thing while I talk to myself on camera. Because why not?
Skew's not going nowhere from neither.
What's this about a camera?
So, am I reading that right? That's now going to be level 5, or is he saying level up to level 4 if we haven't already?
6 or 5. Yeah, we're going up to level 5.
Oh my god! 5. Okay.
I'll level up to 6 and not tell him since he's not there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that seems perfectly legitimate.
Absolutely.
Okay. Do any you're a
Warlock.
You're a warlock, so what is your armor class normally?
12.
Cool. Well, Skewer might take Barkskin and maybe help you out a little, since you've been helping him.
No, like if you're really like looking at what direction to go with it, I'm doing a really good job of staying out of the way and running back and hiding. In fact, that's done me really well. I mean, unless you're just wanting to keep a. Go ahead.
I was going to say the proficiency bump should help your AC too, right?
Proficiency.
Because we're going to 5, so we get +3 instead of +2. But I don't know if that's AC, is it?
Oh man, it's been a long time since I looked at it.
Pretty sure it's not. I know it's definitely 2 attacks and saving throws.
I get a new invocation. I know 6 spells, and they go up to 3rd level.
So it'll change your DCs.
Right.
Yeah. And we go to... So I get... Let's see. I get 6 plus 2 plus 2. I get 10.
All right, I'm
Welcome back.
Why do you want us to up ourselves to 5 already?
yeah.
Cool.
Well, I'm just looking at them. There's not really any other good spells for me. I might take Buckskin, and I might take... maybe Protection from Poison. Doesn't really make sense for Troll Singer, though, for Skewer. Oh, cool. That's without a save. Cool. I might take Spike Growth because there's no save for it.
Cool.
All right, I'll take Barkskin and Spike Growth. They make sense for Skewer.
Hey, you can put bark skin on you and then make spikes grow out of you. I don't know if it works like that, but it will now. Unless it's a bad thing, and then you can't have spikes growing out of you if it'll hurt you too.
Now we can't heighten Hunter's Mark, can we? I wish we could heighten in this. At high level, when you cast this use spell using a 3rd or 4th level spell, so it's only 3rd. Okay, cool. No worries, that's fine. I'm nowhere near that yet. Cool, got it.
All right. How's everybody else coming along? Oh, okay.
Just picking spells.
Oh,
All right.
So did you say that you had to finish earlier tonight as well?
yeah, I had something that I got to take care of.
Cool. All right.
My God, I can take landmine. I mean, explosive rune.
Landmine.
I kind of want that spell. So, guys, hold on a minute. I need an hour to prepare something. Hey, Claude, I have a question.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could do this. Could you inscribe something with the rune, the explosive rune, and like throw it, and it explode?
Oh, I'm not.
Because they say you set up a trigger for it.
I'm not sure. I
Let me
guess. I think I know the runes used to be more utility like that, but I'm not really sure. But I'm guessing you could do it. You could set the trigger on impact.
Is that a third level spell? Is it?
Yeah, it's a third level spell. I thought it'd just be kind of funny to have it.
Well, at an hour's time to prepare it, I don't see a whole bunch of them being.
Well, I mean, the thing is it lasts until it's dispelled or triggered. So, I mean, you know.
Yeah, I guess you could if it's within reason. If you don't get too crazy with it.
Huh. What if I could make like a staff that's almost like a javelin, but it's not a javelin, and have it that it's brittle, that it'll break on impact, and have it that it's settled that when the staff is when it's broke. Could you do that?
So what spell list are you looking at? Because
the bard. Oh, it's called Glyph of Warding. It's one of the Glyph of Warding.
Glyph.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say yeah until you start getting too crazy with it, and then I will.
Well, I'm only putting it on like a stick, dude. It's like, I mean,
yeah,
it's not like I'm just gonna go, hey guys, I'm gonna have this little bag, I'm gonna throw it, pull the ripcord, and when I pull the ripcord, that's when it explodes.
So it says that you can actually inscribe something like a book or a scroll that can be closed or folded. You can put it on like something like that, like so you can put it on a piece of paper or whatever, as long as you can like fold it and conceal it, and then if you
well, the thing is it's got a 20-foot blast radius, so I mean, like if it was like a claymore, like, you know, it's like a cone in front of it, that'd be awesome, but that wouldn't actually be bad, but you know.
I'll say yeah, but if you that you can fix it on impact, but if you miss, the spell is used with no effect.
Well, why don't you do this? Considering the staff is brittle. Well, no, I'm only saying considering the staff is brittle because, dude, if you throw a brittle piece of wood, it's going to break regardless of where it.
Right, but but if, like I said, if you roll and you hit, it'll blow up. If you roll and miss, it dissipates and you've wasted an hour spell.
No, the chaos to it would be is if you throw it and miss wherever it lands, that's going. All the innocent bystanders on the other side. Whoops.
So we'll go with that. If you miss, the spell dissipates and it.
Oh, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it. Just like doing nothing. I'm happy with that.
Cool.
Be another good one. Still Curse would be another good one. Wait, how many spells do I get? That might be important before I start getting too happy with spells.
Is all that we need is the spellcasters to pick their spells?
I think so. I'm not sure. So I mean,
okay. So we'll pick back up, and you just
I only get 1/3 level spell. So
okay. So with y'all's with the 2 days downtime, first day, what would each of you like to be doing?
Same thing. I've been doing, just sticking around in the bar, helping out, talking shop with the people that are in there, making sure that I'm earning money to pay my guild dues.
Oh yeah, you've just sat talking with a lot of the people. You've picked up a lot of odds and end recipes for just from the old man on some ales and lagers that you could make. Not too many, a lot of the stuff is like family secret. He doesn't regret, but you pick up on a few recipes that you can add to your repertoire.
Yeah.
All right. So this is like a lumber town, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I assume that they have saws and or axes. Is there like somebody in town that I could have hone a sharp edge on my axe, maybe make it a little better, or find a better axe in town?
Oh yeah, there's places. There's that the Emporium that the elderly man. Well, you all don't know about it unless Mr. Silver has told y'all about the Emporium. Okay, yeah. So you know about the Silver Spike Emporium.
Yeah, Sped wants to go and check this out, see if he can't find a new axe for his collection here, or maybe some fancy picture books.
Well, when you go the Emporium, you can already that you're not going to find many fancy picture books in this place, but if you've come for weapons of a lumbering variety, or if you're wanting an axe for splitting the head, you have found your spot.
Perfect. Sped's going to quickly look around and seek out somebody that looks like they know what's going on here.
Oh yeah, there's this portly man who is sitting behind over here on it's like a half cast. He's sitting on it, and he's whittling a axe handle, and he looks at you. Can I help you?
And Sved's going to kind of look and yes, I was wondering if you might have an axe better than the one that slayed the giant bear, ruining your town. And if I might get a deal so that I can help you out the next time they come around.
What kind of axe are you looking at for?
Oh, anything that
I have
a bear leg off in one swing. It took me 2 last time.
Well,
Very embarrassing.
he goes and he takes this big heavy key ring off, and he goes over to this this big shelf, and he like thing, and he turns it on this lock, and he knocks the lock off, and he opens it up. He says, "Well, I have some great axes that usually does the job with the werewolves."
That sounds great. And then Sved does the Jim Halpert look at the camera.
Now, if you're looking for something of a more magical nature, he's like, I don't have them, but this
silver edged axe, great axe.
Oh yeah, like one of the great axes has like this on each side has this wolf's head on it.
Oh, perfect.
He picks it. He says this one was special. This one was a special made for somebody that didn't make it through the last hunt. So it seemed a shame to let it rot in the forest.
Well, that just seems just like what I need. I'll leave the magic to my friends. And how much will this axe cost the savior of your town?
He says, 200.
How much money are we going to spend out of what we got here, guys? Does anybody have any problems with me?
Or you could have skewers money. You don't care. Don't know how much I got. Let's have a look.
Yeah, if we went back to the treasure hoard that y'all have accumulated just on money alone, each of you would have had about 900 on top of the 1,600.
That's what I was thinking. I just didn't want to screw the party over, but yes, that sounds like a fair price for an axe, specially made for a warrior such as me.
From that 1,600, everybody gets 325.
Right, but I'm talking about the past treasure hoard.
Right.
I'm definitely going to take this axe. Is there anything special beyond it just being a great axe?
He had it. After I made it, he had this feller from Diregolf come, and he used some little flame weapon, flame spark. I don't know exactly what it was, but he ran it through and made a very fine edge on it. I don't know exactly what he did, but it doesn't need sharpening.
Perfect. All right, sir. Well, I'll be sure to tell my friends all about your store. Do you have anything that might interest them?
He says, do they like crossbows? Do they like?
Well, I don't know how much they practice with their crossbow, but my friend Arcadia, the injured one, he owns a crossbow.
He said, "Oh yeah, I saw that feller." He's like, "That was that." He's still alive.
Oh, he's hanging on. We're a tougher sort than you might think.
Well, he says have them come by. He says I have a few stuff that they can get. That I'll give them. They can get a hold of if they want.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I'll let them know. And no books, right?
He says I don't have very many picture books. If you're looking for picture books,
Okay. Well,
it's not a big thing.
I'll be on my way. Thank you, sir.
Come back. So around day 2, Arcadian will come to, and where would y'all be on? Where would you be at into the town? People, it's been hard pressed for y'all to be able to move around town without having some people just come up to thank you, have a crowd of people around you just as you're moving from one part of the town to the next.
Yeah, Arcady will actually, once he gets up, he kind of looks around. Like last thing he remembers is being thrown. So he kind of like looks around. He goes, "Did we win?" You know, kind of like looking around, seeing all the, considering I'm pretty sure there's other people around. He kind of like looks around, and like any of the people tending to other ones, he'll try to like motion for, like wave at them, trying to get their attention, and just kind of motion for them to come over. If they're too busy, he'll say, "What happened to the bear?"
Oh no, they some of them tell you that that y'all killed it. They thought a few that were close enough to know what happened thought you may have been killed by the bear.
Arcady does, huh? He says, "I remember a giant bear." He says, "Where's my armor?"
He says, "It's been been fixed. You were kind of ripped apart."
I says, "Well, at least I did. At least I died, and at least I got put out in battle." He'll pat the dude on the shoulder and he'll say, "Thanks," and he's going to try to go down to the blacksmiths to wherever his armor, because they kind of asked where'd they take my armor.
Oh, he'll be taken down at the Silver Spike Emporium.
All right. And he goes, "That armor was not helpful, not even a little bit." And yeah, I'm going to head my way down to get some armor.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
Skill is spending the lion's share of his time just helping out wherever he can in town. He understands that there is this shop. Obviously, he's been told that there's this shop that's got potentially some upgrades of gear. But I mean, all the most important thing to him is that he helps people around town, whether it be little old ladies crossing the street or there's actually man's work to be done around town. That's what he's doing for the majority of the time. He might drop in for 5 minutes at the end of a long day, but pretty much he'll be seen helping people, especially with manual labor jobs around town.
Okay. Mr. Silver, Enoch?
If he's got anything that I can use to help my saves or to extend or give me another spell slot, like I'm looking right now for I guess I'm just not feeling super confident in my abilities to help, because after that last fight, yeah, I helped out a little bit, but after I started hiding behind that door, like the fight was over, and I was still shouting away, not realizing that it wasn't dead, but realizing that I wouldn't do anything. So I was just firing away with everything I had, not really having a whole lot left over.
Well, the man, he sits there for a moment. He's well, when we did have some rune chanters in the town for a while, they brought some stuff with them, and I did some trading with them. They had these little baubles, and he'll hold out, and he brings out this little almost like a ring box, and he opens it, and it's got this little silver gold little sphere in it. He's like, I managed to get this off one of them. They said they used it to recall some of their spells. I don't know exactly what that means, but they said it helped them when they were helping us fight back the werewolves.
Yeah. No rods?
We don't get many.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I figured. Been looking for them for a while. But
if you go up Thraben Way, the Rune Chanters have they actually have an academy there that they kind of make their arcane wares to sell. But it's hard to get many of their stuff out here. He's like, I got this. He said, I can give it to you for about 3 if you want it.
well, all right. I guess that'll work for now.
He sets the box on there, and he's up. You'll probably put it to a better use than what I was doing with it.
You're right. And I'll give him the 300.
Okay. Enoch?
So Enoch's initial approach the first couple of days is he kind of realizes that there's going to be people coming up to him, and he's seeing how all of his friends have been dealing with it and what he's been dealing with. So he kind of starts telling everybody that he'll be at this time at this designated place. Anybody can come give their thanks if that's what they're wishing to do. And so, a couple of times a day, he's doing the circuit, so to speak. He's stopping in at the bar and letting people buy him a drink if they want to, or say thanks or whatever. And then making it very clear that that session is over. And if they're interested, they can meet him at this other location. And then at that time, he'd go there. And essentially what he's trying to do is he's trying to give anybody that might want to an opportunity to come give their thanks so that he can be done saying you're welcome sooner. That's really the only reason he's doing it. He's trying to get them out of his hair as fast as possible. And hopefully a couple of days in, he's got most of the people out of his hair. Not all of them, I'm sure. But I think if anything, he would probably... I would say he'd probably go over to the shop, the magic location, and just sort of peruse. He's not real sure, the idea of some enchanted item or weapon or whatever. He doesn't have a real good lock on what this sort of stuff does. He's always thought that people are the conduit for magic, not necessarily the stuff. So he's probably just there kind of looking around, and he doesn't really have an idea of if someone walked in and said, "Hey, what are you looking for?" He doesn't really know. So he's just probably there just kind of perusing. But nothing big.
Okay. Well, well, as a little time goes, people have started to gather together to have a celebration. They were going to do a fall celebration to for a hunt, but the hunt seems to came to them. So now they're having a celebration that they survived. And each of y'all are the guest of honor, and they have this big area set up. We got the lanterns and everything, food, what have you, and people like the town alderman makes speeches on y'all's bravery. They make this day like a holiday. They add to it. There's a few people who are celebrating their family not being a zombie for another year. I forgot what its name is, but that is a thing here. So you're have that and just sitting around and having I guess as good a time as you can have when a caravan comes in, and sitting on the top of the caravan is that old man, and he's seen Malcreath, Otto Malcreath, and he seems really, and he as he's looking, he's just looking as he's coming in. He looks, or he's kind of really tired, like he's been up for ever how long. And when he sees when he sees y'all together, he kind of makes his way over to you, and he says, "After this is done," he says, "we need to have them. I need to talk with you. Enjoy yourselves now, but I've had a breakthrough. I was able to translate the books. So, but enjoy yourself now. We can talk later."
Skewer would say, I'd rather speak about it now, even if everyone else wants to party. Thing is, it wouldn't be the first time that someone had a breakthrough or had a discovery, and then, something bad happened, and then they weren't able to do whatever it was that they discovered. Not saying that anything's bad gonna happen, touch wood, but I'd rather hear about it now. Don't know about anyone else, and maybe I'm not going to understand it, but I'll listen.
So he, like, not even is like when you say you'll do it, he's already starting to move people that were setting, is like shooing them down so he could set, and he's moving the area out, and he opens one of the books. He says, "When I started doing this," he's like, "I was doing it wrong. I was trying to translate it from what I know." He's like, "What I should have been looking for was the root of it, and I have found it. I know how we can defeat the Horn King now. The people, when he was defeated the first time, they put it into books, and that's the reason why they separated it. I know how we can do it now.
Oh, don't keep me waiting too long.
There's a ritual that you have to perform, and it breaks whoever has the crown's connection to it, thus severing his power to to awaken the woods and turn them to his plots.
Are there words you have to speak?
The ritual I'm still looking for, but I'm pretty sure that somebody will have to speak the words to break the connection from him, and then he should be considerably weaker.
If there were words, I wouldn't be the one to be speaking them, because I remember I couldn't get it right last time I tried, and it was something very simple. Mr. Silver would be the one for that. But is there anything we can help with getting, you don't quite have the ritual yet? Is there something we can do to help you make it quicker?
Yes, there is. It came to me that the Markov vampire line, at one time, they had the book with the ritual in it at their castle when Emrakul came, and her head priest encased much of the castle in stone and petrified a lot of the denizens there. The Markovs lost a little of their power, but they were able. The ritual book was taken by the Falkreath bloodline and has been held somewhere in their hold.
So you reckon it's in the Falkreath's hold?
Yeah, there's no other place that it would be.
All right, and might it have some sort of symbol or title we might know it by, so we don't search through thousands and thousands of bookcases looking for it?
It would be a journal. It would be Soren Markov's journal.
Soren Markov's journal. All right. Well, I'm sure Mr. Silver will remember that. I'm not sure I will, but we'll tell him. Okay. And, how old do you reckon it would be? Would it be weather-bound? Would it be just parchment? Anything else about it? This journal.
I've heard tales that it was a black leather-bound book. He says if you give in to the silly superstitions, it was made. There's one that says it was made out of human skin, written by human blood. But as far as I would know, it could possibly be a book.
Is there anything that we shouldn't do with it? Like, if we get it, obviously we have to read a bit of it to know what it is, know it's the right thing. But is there something that would be dangerous to do, like reading it out loud or something else that would be bad for us to do?
He says, yeah, reading it out loud before you're needing it would surely be bad, especially if you do that. It might actually cue the Horn King to you that you have the book, and he could come at you at full force instead of what he's doing now.
And this Falkreath's hold, is that nearby? How far is it? What direction is it? Is there anyone still there?
I wouldn't know. It's in Stensia. I've never been too far into Stensia.
Well, I might be able to help you there.
Oh yeah. You know that Stensia is divided up, much like games divide up a city territory. Every vampire line has its own little territory that it runs.
So the Felcreeps is like a vampire line?
Yeah, they stay along the mountains because they're falconers by trade. So they tend to stay. They tend to, before they were changed, they liked to be near the predatory birds. But now that they gave themselves to Emrakul, and they've become less human now, to the point that even the other vampire families hunt them.
Okay, and yeah, I'd probably know that, and I'd say, oh, the Falcreeps are particularly dangerous. Well, we'll talk to the others and see what they say. Obviously, we have to find this book, but going into Falcreeps Hold, well, that's going to be quite the task.
He said, "I would also. I heard that the book was made of stone." He said, "Now, like I said, you don't know what you can believe about 90% of the stories. No one ever saw it."
Well, if lots of things were changed into stone, maybe it were too. But all right, we've got a little bit of a description. We know kind of what's in there. We know it's Soren Markov's journal. We know where it is, where it's meant to be anyway. Is there anyone else in the party that's paying attention to this along with Skewer, or is everyone else enjoying the party?
I could come over and join you.
I think given that there's all of this information and given that you're the one that sort of knows a whole bunch of stuff, you're not the only one interested in books. But you've shown an interest, so he would definitely call you over. He would definitely tell you all of this stuff, tell you how this book could be made, where it is, about these Falcreeps, about the vampire line, about how they've given themselves to Emrakul, and that other vampires even hunt them. So we might even, if we get there and there's a hunt going on, then there might be like 2 vampire or 3 vampire lines all in the same area. So it could be extremely dangerous. And that it could be made of stone or leather, and we don't really fully know, and we shouldn't read it out aloud, and would sort of get, see, well, Mr. Sylvan, he knows lots of things, and he might have some other questions that I don't think of. So what do you think, Mr. Silver? It seems like quite the task. Obviously, we're going to need some vampire slaying tools other than what we've already got. Sunlight probably will help.
You're very correct. But I highly doubt that any of the families will let any of us make anything with sunlight in it, and let us live for very long. So finding that could be probably more difficult than arming an entire battalion with silvered weapons.
Yeah, and packing some holy water, of course.
Yes, and steaks.
Steaks are always very, very useful, yes.
Yes.
he,
Are we on? And then looking over at the sky, are we on any sort of time schedule,
oh,
or is this a do it at your leisure? Go now.
that's
Before
entirely.
the next full moon. You know how most issues are.
That depends on you really.
So, have we heard much about like what this king like about his timeline? His timeline. I mean, we probably don't know a lot, but does this guy know anything about when this king might make his move or anything like that? Yeah.
He says you're seeing him at her house, at the Averbrook house, is the only time anyone has ever heard anything about him. There's been whispers of the scuttlers and their kind becoming a little more rampant and attacking more freely, but he has kept a lot of his stuff he's been keeping to himself. We don't know what he's doing. I've heard that over in Nunfala they've been getting there's been a lot of action going over there, but that's because the sunken temple is there. And don't know what.
Well, I'm a bit concerned myself because we've seen certainly a lot of action around where we've been. Obviously, some of us are being cursed, and it just seems to be getting worse and worse, and it seems to be, I don't know, heightening, quickening, I don't know what, but it seems like the quicker we do this, the quicker we can close him down, shut him down, make it that he can't make his next move, whatever that is. Hopefully, I mean, that'd be our goal, right?
Oh yeah, you're cursed. Did you ever get it? Taken from you?
Skewer looks at Mr. Silver and says, "I don't think you did you?"
Pretty sure I did. After being buried in the ground and having that damned spike run through my face.
He says, good. He says, as far as urgency, he says, it's as urgent as you want it to be. I'm not saying just, pack up and go now. He's like, you clearly have earned at least this day of enjoyment.
Well, it's too much work to do to enjoy it. But these ones can enjoy it. I don't mind. Well, thank you for all your research. It's been mighty good to have someone that kind of knows what he's talking about. Sure, you've told us everything. I just don't want to miss anything before we move on and tackle this by going to Falgrave.
Oh, he gives Mr. Silver the book. He says, I believe one of you asked if I ever translated it. You wanted a copy of it?
That was probably me.
And he hands you, he says, there you go.
Great, thank you.
Well, go and enjoy yourselves. He's like, don't let me dampen the mood. And he picks up a mug and starts to drink a little.
I'll pocket the book and go play some more then.
And Skewer would, one by one, go around his companions and let them know about everything that was spoken about and what a future plan might be in the next little while. Even if they're drinking hard, he would just mention it and then move on to the next person.
Okay, so yeah, the party starts to wind down, and you find there's people, fall asleep where they're sitting. Some slump over. It's just, a lot of it just comes down to where there's each of you and some real hard drinkers that are still sitting and enjoying it. Otto went out after the third or fourth cup, so he's sitting over there in his plate of food. So what would y'all like to do? What plans would y'all like to make, or what would you like to accomplish now?
Well, being that so many people are drinking and so many people are going out, Skewer would probably furtively just leave this tavern or whatever it is that we're in, and he would make his way. He would do like a patrol around the edges of town, seeing if there's anyone that was properly positioned out there, and just double checking to make sure that everyone's safe and there's no other threats before he turns in for the night.
Oh yeah, you see there's a lot of guards that are unhappy with the fact that they drew the short straw.
Right.
And they seem to be out in double force now, especially with the door broke.
Right. Yeah. Well, he would check in. I don't want like super long detailed reports, but if he can just check in and just be like, everything seem clear, and if they go, yep, he would just move on to the next checkpoint. And once he's visited each of the checkpoints, he would then close up for the night.
There's a few of them as like they think they saw something, but nothing that's too alarming right now.
Cool. Well, that's me. I've talked enough. Go over to someone else.
So
I'll make sure that Enoch has a basic rundown of the conversation that was just had.
So, when are we going to do it then?
Wouldn't be surprised if we leave in the morning. It'd be rude to skip out on our own party after all.
And he kind of looks around, sees some people waving to him, and he kind of waves back. Says, forward, ever forward. And he kind of slumps back down, and the person he waved to brings a drink over to him, and he just kind of buries his head into that.
Well, if no one else has anything left, each of you find yourselves going to bed, except for Mr. Silver, who doesn't sleep. So wherever you wish to be, in town or in the inn or wherever, sleep.
I'll be spending the night putting some spells into the spell slot and reading over the book.
Okay. The book is a rundown of the first time the people had to fight the Horn King, and the ritual that they had to use to defeat him. They created a spell that would temporarily imprison him inside the actual crown itself. And they later on, there was with the aid of the vampire Colin Markov, they created a spell that they never got to use. It was a ritual that they were that would break the crown. But it had stayed in the Markov's keeping until it was needed.
Okay.
So
And the idea is that because he's sealed in the crown, once the crown is destroyed, he would be destroyed. That's their theory.
that's what they're thinking, because each of when the crown was used the first time, they used the unmaking spell, and it trapped the first Horn King inside the crown. And then with the help of the Markovs, they were able to create a ritual that they were going to use to break it, but the crown disappeared.
Yeah. Cool.
So night rolls off and day comes in, and it finds each of you in your places, each of you in your rooms. The tavern, as each wake, the tavern you can hear is slowly coming to life. Many a hangover, and Mr. Silver can hear a lot of groans and people hollering, "Don't bang things too loud," or "Don't move this," "Don't open the door." Just people just upset with just the general not motion around. And you each come down. Where would Mr. Silver be? Was he in the inn, or was he out? Was he left at the tables? Or did he?
I would have been left at the tables, would have read, would have stored some spells, would have helped clean up, would have gone do some light work, cast my unseen servants so there's a horde of them to take care of it, and then wind up back in the inn.
So, as everybody makes their way into the common area, you see Mr. Silver sitting at the bar. And for something I forgot, Arcadian, when you went to get your armor, the man was saying if he could bring it to you tomorrow, because it was getting close to time for him to get his to go to the festival.
Go.
So as you come down there, you see the blacksmith with your armor.
All right.
He patched it as best he could.
All right.
So, what plans are y'all? The floor is y'all's.
So I think the first thing, just to kind of get this wrapped up, Enoch has gone to one of the tailors and actually found himself a new jacket. He was looking around, and he saw, in the magic shop and everything like that, and there was just nothing that really bit his fancy. And when he walked out, he saw the tailor and went inside, and there it was. There was a different jacket, and it's a real tight sleeves on him and everything, and a high popped collar. And it sits just above his waist, and he goes and he buys the jacket. And you can tell me in chat how much it cost him. It's just a regular jacket. No, I mean, it's a nice jacket. Don't get me wrong. He likes it a lot. But anyway, as he kind of walks out, he sees some of the kids playing around. He takes his old jacket and he gives it to just one of these kids who's running around and playing and stuff like that. Probably someone who's maybe a little more out of their luck. And gives it to him. And at that point, that's when he would walk back over to where everybody would be meeting up. And he kind of walks in with this new jacket. But the best part is later that day, that little kid reaches into one of the pockets of the jacket and he finds his portion of the reward that they got. So he'd find 323 gold in the pocket of his old jacket. But then he would walk into the meeting with his new one, just loving it, kind of stretching out and getting the feel. And you guys can hear like the leather and everything kind of crinkling as he breaks it in. And he sits down and he says, "All right, now what?"
Nice.
Yeah, it's new. It is nice.
In addition to Silver's Pike, and maybe checking the shop for holy water, and grabbing a couple of steaks, Skewer would see if they sell any like weapon oils, like that he could maybe like smear on his weapon that might add some sort of temporary effect or something. He doesn't really know much about enchanted weapons, and he didn't spend enough time in the city like actually asking them what they could do with it, but he's going to see if there's any actual weapon oils to see if maybe he can do something temporary just before he leaves. That's kind of what he's after. Then he would come into the room and it would sort of say, "Oh, I've had me sleep. I'm ready to go. If you are, if you got any better ideas, better tell them now, because I'm a man of action and I'm raring to go." That's what he would say, and that's what he would do.
Good to go.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. Well, I never did. I looked in the book. I don't know if they have I don't see if they have weapon oils.
I don't know. I don't know either. It's just something that he would think of. But yeah, I don't know if it's a mechanical thing. I'm pretty sure it's not. So don't worry too much.
But you can find some. Yeah, you can find you. You can find you some. They have some that they modified out of alchemist fire. I'll get it, and it burns a little longer than the instead of you having to throw it, you can put it on your sword and ignite it. It's kind of like a flaming sword that they used a lot.
Cool. There's oil of sharpness. It seems very rare, though. I'm not sure whether they would have it.
Well,
But the alchemist fire is cool. I mean, he would definitely like take that oil, and that'd be more than enough for him. That sounds really cool.
Yeah, you can get it for. He'll sell them to you for 50 gold a piece if you want them. He's got about 3 or 4 of them.
Cool. Yeah, I'd probably buy 2. And I would let anyone else know about them if anyone else wanted one. But yeah, I'd probably buy 2. That sounds cool. Thanks.
All right. Well, you gather yourselves together. You're walking outside the front gate, and Bax is sitting there waiting on you. Didn't really see him very often, or even at all during the thing. You walk and you see, and he's got his coat. His coat is kind of pinned up, and he walks to, and he, well, I can't seem to get rid of you boys. But this is the end of the road for me, I'm afraid. He said, I never did properly pay you, and I maybe even in my own little way shortchanged you. But you can have my carriage if you want it. We'll call ourselves even. It'll work it'll hold up against some pretty hard attacks.
Wonderful. Absolutely. Anything to not have to walk, right? Am I right? No? I'll step up.
I don't mind walking, but it might be quicker that way, yeah.
Oh yeah. When you come up in the inside, it's less, it's got some comfort, and you could see you could fold it down for a bed if you wanted to sleep uncomfortably. But he has a couple of crossbows that he has set on the inside that have silver arrows with it. He's like, take them with you. He's like, I won't be needing them. And he pats his shoulder. And I'm retiring.
I'm glad it was your shoulder and not your knee. I hear that's one hell of a thing.
Really? That sounds very unfortunate.
He says, "Yeah, it would be kind of odd to be walking around with the peg leg."
You know, now that I mention it, I've heard many gods mention that. Odd.
Maybe they got cursed. Who knows?
Messes with it. It messes with their. It's just a thing. It messes with their waltz. Yeah, he kind of laughs and pats Skewer on the back. He says, "If I don't see you anymore, good journey."
Oh, and to you, sir. It's been good to be here and help out.
So you get your supplies. You get all ready. Get over everything you need before you leave the town, and you start to head out along the trail. And with Skewer's help, you turn east and start heading for the very bleak mountainous area of Stencia. You pass the last bit of green before you cross over into it about midday. Where it's a bit of a relief not having that oppressed feeling with being in the Uvenwald, but there's a bleakness here and a silence. The wind doesn't blow very often, and aside from the ever occasion you'll see like this big bird of prey dart across the sky, and wolves and that you've come accustomed to hearing. you continue on to the Fall Creek Hold. You're heading towards the mountain that looks like a bunch of jagged teeth. And we'll call it there for tonight.
Cool.
I want to thank y'all for playing and keep showing up, and I hope y'all have fun or had fun. I will see y'all later, 2 weeks from now, and we'll see where this leaves us. See
Sounds
y'all.
good.
Good night, y'all.
Thanks for running.
Yeah,
Thanks, bye.